Wednesday, May 2, 1883. About 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Sri Ramakrishna arrived at the temple of the Brahmo Samaj in Nandun Bagan, accompanied by M, Rakhal and a few other devotees. At first, the master sat in the drawing room of the ground floor, where the Brahmo devotees gradually assembled. Rabindranath Tagore and a few other members of the Tagore family were present on this occasion. Sri Ramakrishna was asked to go to the worship hall on the second floor. A dais had been built on the eastern side of the room. There were a few chairs and a piano in the hall. The Brahmo worship was to begin at dusk. As soon as the master entered the worship hall, he bowed low before the dais. Having taken his seat, he said to M and the other devotees, "Narendra once asked me, what good is there in bowing before the Brahmo Samaj temple? The sight of the temple recalls to my mind God alone. Then God consciousness is kindled in my mind. God is present where people talk about Him. One feels there the presence of all the holy places. Places of worship recall God alone to my mind. Once a devotee was overwhelmed with ecstasy at the sight of a babla tree. The idea flashed in his mind that the handle of the axe used in the garden of the temple of Radhakant was made from the wood of the babla. Another devotee had such devotion for his guru that he would be overwhelmed with the divine feeling at the sight of his guru's neighbors. Krishna consciousness would be kindled in Radha's mind at the sight of a cloud, a blue dress, or a painting of Krishna. Footnote: Krishna had a dark blue complexion. Footnote ends. She would become restless and cry like a mad person. Krishna, where art thou? Ghoshal: but madness is not desirable. Master: what do you mean? Was Radha's madness the madness that comes from brooding over worldly objects and makes one unconscious? One attains that madness by meditating on God. Haven't you heard of love madness and knowledge madness? A Brahmo devotee: how can one realize God? Master: by directing your love to Him and constantly reasoning that God alone is real and the world illusory. The Ashwatha tree alone is permanent. Its fruit is transitory. Brahmo: we have passions like anger and lust. What shall we do with these? Master: direct the 6 passions to God. The impulse of lust should be turned into the desire to have intercourse with Atman. Feel angry at those who stand in your way to God. Feel greedy for Him. If you must have the feeling of I and mine, then associate it with God. Say for instance, my Ram, my Krishna. If you must have pride, then feel like Vibhishana, who said, I have touched the feet of Rama with my head. I will not bow this head before anyone else.